They want us to choose and say, oh, we're Team Islam. We hate Islamophobia. And Islam's terrific because they revere Jesus as a prophet. And it's like, no, we don't want Muslims here. We don't want millions of Muslims here. That is not who we are. And it's because Islam is not the truth. Islam is not the truth. Jesus Christ is the truth. The Logos is the truth. Christ is the Word. The Word is with God. So no, Islam is a false religion. If you are a Muslim, you are worshiping a demon. Okay? And I know Nostra Aetate says, well, they worship the monotheistic God. They worship the Father. I don't think so. They're following some cult. I don't support it. I don't want it in my country. It is foreign and it isn't true. So they're trying to get you to go on that side. Oh, boo Israel. We're pro-Muslim. And the Jews are trying to do the exact opposite. And they're saying, oh, Muslims are the problem. Boo Muslims, and Jews are fine. Jews are fighting Islam. We're Judeo-Christian. We're people of the book, blah, blah. And you go, no, we don't want you either. Judaism is also a false religion. That is also a false religion. You're worshiping a demon too. Your Talmud, your mysticism, your Chabad Lubavitch, your Lurianic Kabbalah, you're worshiping a demon too. That's also a false religion. We don't want that here either. So it's like I say, we have to take our own side, even if you're a pagan, okay? Even if you're a pagan, even if you're a non-Christian, our civilization is Christian. That's our cultural language. That is our heritage. That is our moral vocabulary. We are a Christian civilization. And that's the big dog, and that is what we're going with. Even if you're not a Christian, it's what it is. That's Rome. That's Neoplatonism. That's the scholastics. That is who we are. Contrary to Islam, contrary to Judaism, contrary to Marxism, liberalism. So, yeah, I agree. We have to take that middle path. And I'm so sick of hearing about, Islamophobia, Muslims are our closest allies. I don't think so. I'm not really about that, because it's never a two-way street. And they come here and it's so funny. I saw this with Sneako. You notice this with Sneako? So the other day, Sneako is responding to a video of Muslims praying in the park at night. And some boomer goes up to them and he's trolling them and he's yelling at them. And Sneako goes, they're not bothering anybody. No one's there. They're in the park. It's at night. They're not bothering anybody. They're just hanging out. And then where do you see Sneako during Ramadan? Times Square, New York, in the middle of the evening. Oh, so what happened? So first you go, oh, leave us alone. It's Islamophobia. We're not bothering anybody. Then you're in Times Square. What's the excuse now? Now you are bothering everybody. And you know what you're doing now? Now you're an imposition. You're imposing that on everybody. You're in the center of our country. Times Square is the center of our great global city, of our empire city. And you are taking up space there for no other reason than to make a statement, which is we are here and we are Muslim and we are here to conquer. That is what that is about. So the goal there is to be as conspicuous as possible. And then you go, you know what? This isn't a Muslim country. Pack it the fuck up and take it to a mosque. You're lucky we have a First Amendment. You do have freedom to practice your religion. Practice it in your constitutionally protected mosque.
There's a lot of online debate with Muslims and a large group praying in Times Square. And look, man, I have no problems with Muslims. I have Muslims friends. And I love that we can practice freedom of religion in this country. That's why I love America. But if you've been on X and you've been online lately, you got to admit, a lot of these Muslims, I'm just saying, these Muslim influencers, they've been talking hella spicy right now. I don't understand why they attack Christianity so much. Some people may disagree, but I do think foundationally, America is a Christian country. I know a lot of people might not agree, but I do think this is a Christian nation. I don't think the country collectively all together at the same time acts like a Christian country. I think we could do better, but the foundations, I do think we are a Christian country. And ever since the start of Ramadan, Muslims have been pretty disrespectful lately. It's an iconic area, and I do think Muslims are doing that as a show a sign of dominance.
You don't see Christians doing a march with the rosary You don't see a procession in Dubai. You don't see a procession in Mecca. You don't see a Christian procession in Medina or in those cities in Qum. You don't see a procession over there because it's not allowed. Christians have their area over there where they can practice, but it's not allowed everywhere, certainly not allowed in the middle. And then you know what Sneako says when you call him out? He goes, "You're right. You're right. We are Muslim, and we did just pray in New York, and we are. So which is it?" And you know, this is what they do, and that is how they are. They're very crafty. At once, they play the victim. And they go, "Leave us alone, Islamophobia, oy vey." They literally sound like Jews. They are literally just like the Jews. This is what the Jews do. The Jews will say, "We're the victim, anti-Semitism." And like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, they say anti-Semitism is out of control. We don't feel safe in the city. And then they go, "You're right, we do run the media. We're going to crush you." Just like with the Muslims. It's Bismillah, Islamophobia, everyone's attacking us. And they go, "We are here, and we're in Times Square, and you can't do a fucking thing about it." And that's why Christians need to say, no more gaslighting. No more gaslighting. Raise up the cross. I want a Roman salute from everybody. A Roman salute to our Caesar. A Roman salute to our church. Hail Christ. Hail Christ. Hail Caesar. Hail Rome. Okay, this is the new Rome, bitch. And we're taking Muslims by their thobe and all their goofy shit, and we're taking Jews by their yarmulke, and we gotta flick them back out to the Middle East. Get the fuck out of here. This is a new Rome, bitch. This is a new Rome, motherfucker. Get on board or get out. Somalians, get the fuck out. Hasidic Jews, get the fuck out. Ben Shapiro, get the fuck out. Christians have to get real. Christians need to grow a pair of balls. Stop the gaslighting. I love to see it. I love to see the boomers out there in New York. Thank you, boomers. Thank you, MAGA boomers. I know you may not be based on Israel, but thank you, base boomers, for fighting for space in our fucking country. This is not a Muslim country at all. No Muslim roots here. This is a Christian country. When Christopher Columbus came here, it was a flag with a cross on it. It was christened for Christ. And this is a Christian nation. Don't make a mistake and think it's anything else. It always has been. How many of the colonies had a state-run church at the time of the founding? How many of the founding fathers were Christian? What was the percentage of Christians at the time of the founding? Who were the settlers that came here? The Puritans, the Catholics, the Presbyterians, all these other, who were the Quakers? What religion were they from? How many of them were Sunni and Shia? No, sorry, they were Quakers. They were Puritans. They were Catholics. They were Episcopalians. They were all different manner of Christian. It wasn't until hundreds of years later that you guys started coming in here. You should count yourself as lucky.
That's why I say America is a Christian country. But if you think about it, all of this, Muslims praying in public in Times Square, Christianity is bound to be disrespected on different levels. All of this is a result of freedom. That's why, bro, it is what it is. And what Nick was saying with Sneako, you know, they're friends and everything. But if you watch a Sneako stream or seen the clips, Sneako does feel the need, I don't know what it is, to throw shots at Christianity, throwing shots at Nick's takes on Christianity. And it's like, kind of like what I was saying before, ever since Ramadan, the Muslims have been very disrespectful towards Christians. I don't know what it is.
And look, I don't hate Muslims. I don't hate them at all. And I'm not saying we should take away their rights. I think they should have a right to practice their religion, and they should have their same right as anybody else. But we need to fight for the core and the center. This is a Christian civilization, not a Muslim one. You want to go and practice your religion in your mosque, knock yourself out. But the signs are not going to be in Arabic, my friend. And you want to do your call to prayer, do it inside the mosque. Don't do it in public. And you see what's happening in Europe. This is where they're losing it. The call to prayer goes out in the United Kingdom, in the UK, in the land of the conquerors, the Anglo-Saxons of King Edward and Lord Nelson. You have the Muslim call to prayer, and they're so fucking dishonest. They come here and say, oh, well, John Adams said that America isn't Christian. Oh, I'm sorry, is the United Kingdom Christian? Is the United Kingdom Muslim? Is France Muslim? Is Germany? They don't care. That this is lying. This is Takia. This is targeted lying. You are lying. So someone needs to call it out. And here's the thing. They all want to say, oh, well, you know, we're just being unfairly vilified by the Jews. And then they attack us Christians. And that I will not tolerate. You want to attack Israel? Knock yourself out. You want to criticize the Jews? Hey, you know what? Knock yourself out. You start coming for Christians. You start coming for the West. You start coming for America. Now we got a big problem. Because I am an American and I am a Christian, and this is a Christian nation. So that's a bit, don't overstay your welcome.
You can tell that Nick is visibly frustrated with the fact that somebody like his friend Sneako, they've been to war and back with each other. And Sneako still has the need to feel like he should call out Nick and Christianity. And yeah, man, ever since the Ramadan thing, I don't know if any of you guys have been around the debate space, all these YouTube debates. Muslims could be very vicious, very personal, and it gets kind of wild, man. Yeah, so kind of interesting. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with Nick here? Is America a Christian nation? Or do Muslims have the right to take over Times Square and show that sign of dominance? Or maybe you don't think it's dominance, but let me know what you guys think.